Hey everyone, this is Rob from Revelation Rain, coming at you with another video where we go through each of the songs off our debut album, which is titled Vengeance Is Mine, and we talk about the history and the writing process, etc., about each of the tracks. And today we're on track number 3, which is Days of the Week. Days of the Week has a pretty interesting history. I believe I wrote the song probably around 15 years ago. So not as old as some of the songs, but not as new as some of the others. And when we first put the album together, Vengeance Is Mine, Days of the Week was supposed to be, and was going to be, the first single for the record. But then Taste of Tomorrow came in, and we all felt so strongly about that song that we went with Taste of Tomorrow instead. So anyway, like I said, I wrote Days of the Week probably, actually maybe even longer ago. I think it was probably around 99 or 2000. Actually, we're talking like 21 years. Boy, I've lost track of time. Anyway, so just say 20 years ago. I love the song musically because of the laid-back approach to it. It's a heavier song, but it's like mid-tempo, and it's got like an eerie feel to it almost. But I really like it. In lyrically, it came together pretty quickly as well. I had the title, and it's kind of a play on words, Days of the Week, W-E-A-K, okay? But the tongue-in-cheek part about it, though, is that lyrically it's going through each day of the week. And the song is basically taking us through, it could be anyone's life who feels as though their life is just a constant grind. You know, I get up, I go to work, I come home. I get up, I go to work, I come home. And a lot of us have felt that way at various points in time. And unfortunately, there's some people that still do. And it's easy to get caught into a rut like that. And so the song has taken us through the days of the week, W-E-E-K, where a person is just describing, you know, how each day it's a chore, it's a grind to get through it. But the light at the end of the tunnel is that the weekend is coming. And I'm looking forward to the weekend. I can't wait for the weekend. And when you finally get to the weekend, then you realize just how fast the weekend flies by, and before you know it, it's Monday again. And that's what the song is saying. That's lyrically what it's saying. So I like the way that the song came together. I really like the song lyrically. I really do. But as much as I liked it, I wasn't sure how other people would feel about it, because it is like a mid-tempo, laid-back song. And I remember about 4 or 5 years ago when Josh and I, a guy that plays bass, and we were when I first decided I was going to put a band back together after being away from this for many years, he's the first person I went to. So Josh and I put this band together. We had a drummer. It was just the three of us for quite a long time, and we had a show coming up, and we were short on songs, and I just, on a whim, said, well, I have this other song. We can try it. If you don't like it, no big deal. We'll move on to something else. Because, again, I knew that I liked the song. I mean, I thought it was okay. But in a lot of ways, I felt it was kind of a throwaway. I didn't see the potential in the song sometimes. There were times when I just thought it's just there. And this was one of those times. But we needed a song, so I played it for Josh and our drummer. And they both looked at me like I was from another planet. They're like, this is a fantastic song. Why didn't you bring this to the band much earlier? I don't know. I just thought it was a throwaway. And so that became a joke, not only in that band, but in the following lineups, whether it was Last Asylum or Revelation Rain. So we ended up putting the song in the set list, and it went over really well. And the more we played it, the more I came to appreciate it all over again. And now it's one of my most favorite songs. I've been looking forward to doing the video for this song for quite some time. And in fact, when that band, Volume 11, finally dissolved, and Josh and I began looking for musicians to start a new band, which we called Last Asylum, Again, that was a band that was doing mostly covers. We're doing mostly cover songs with a few of my originals, I think 5. And Days of the Week was one of those songs. And again, I knew that I was coming to appreciate the song. I knew I liked it. I knew Josh liked it, but that doesn't mean that the other 2 guys in the band were going to like it. So I was a bit apprehensive to introduce it to the band, but when I did, again, Grant and at the time the lead guitarists we had were both like, yeah, this is a great song. And when Last Asylum did the Battle of the Bands in Manistee at not Soaring Eagle, Little River Casino, that was one of the songs that we did, and it went over really well. So it's just nice to see how this song has withstood the test of time, despite my own apprehensiveness about it at times. And when we got Revelation Rain together, by that time, Grant and I were fully behind that song, and we had a lot of confidence in that song. And so it just became one of those standard songs. It's in the set list, and we knew it was going to be on the first album. Again, initially, even once JT and Marty came into the band, we all pointed at Days of the Week as being the first single until Taste of Tomorrow. Side note, speaking of Taste of Tomorrow, as most of you know, we've been on hiatus for about 3 months. And despite that, and despite the fact that Taste of Tomorrow came out over a year ago, it was on our first album, which came out in August of 2020, Rocks 100 has started up their top 20 again, which is basically the top 20 most requested songs from unsigned bands, such as Revelation Rain. And despite the fact that we've been inactive for 3 months and that the song came out well over a year ago, Taste of Tomorrow is still, at least 2 weeks ago, was number 16. Still in the top 20, still being requested, even to this day, to this point. That's amazing. And what's even better is that last week, because this chart comes out every week, Taste of Tomorrow moved up 5 spots to number 11. So we're almost in the top 10. I'm hoping that we can get to the top 10. So if you're watching this video, please go to rocks100.com. I think it's /requests. And request Taste of Tomorrow by Revelation Rain. If we could get to number 1, that would be fantastic. But I would be happy with just getting into the top 10. I'm happy with it being in the top 20. Like I said, after a year and almost a year and a half that the song has been released, and again, we've been inactive for 3 months, the song is still holding up. That's great. It says a lot about the song. It says a lot about this band. So, in fact, as you can see, I have a concert that we played back in October of 2020, playing on the screen behind me. This was in Hillsdale. This was a fantastic show. And one of these days, I'm still hoping, despite the fact that Revelation Rain is no more, I'm still hoping that we'll put together a DVD, which will contain this concert in particular, clips from some other concerts as well, but this one especially, along with historical stuff and what have you. And so yes, Revelation Rain is no more. We tried to put it back together without JT, and it just didn't feel right. We tried out a guitarist. He didn't work out. And Marty and I were talking. Marty contacted me and said that he felt that our initial evaluation of Revelation Rain being the 4 of us was correct. And so he was going to step out, and he got an offer for a new project. And I understood and understand where he's coming from, because I felt that way too. And so did Grant, that it should be the 4 of us. JT felt the same way. And then when JT had to leave, he gave his blessing to the 3 of us to move forward. And so the 3 of us reconciled and thought we could put Revelation Rain back together, the 3 of us, at least 3 remaining original members and a new lead guitarist. And we thought, yeah, we can do this. And it just didn't feel right, I guess, maybe. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And so we've decided to just let sleeping dogs lie, I guess. And so Revelation Rain is no more. I'm going to try to keep the channel active, the Facebook channel and the YouTube channel, keep those active. I took down the website. Just want to keep the name out there because there's a lot of people that obviously, as Taste of Tomorrow demonstrates, a lot of people that still enjoy the songs, the videos, and whatever. So maybe someday in the future, the four of us will get back together and do what we got to do. But for right now, Revelation Rain is on a permanent hiatus. So anyway, back to Days of the Week. That was the song that we thought was going to be the first single. Instead, we went with Taste of Tomorrow. But I remember the studio version is slightly different than how we play it live. The studio version, pretty much just we all come in together at the same time and we're, rocking out the song. Live, we do this thing where there's a guitar on a clean channel, just playing some like open chords almost, and then Marty's doing like a bass run, and then that leads up to all four of us coming in. Grant counts us in. Here we go. So it's slightly different, and not only that, but when we went in to do the recording at the studio with Pete Bass, we decided that there should be something to add to the chorus. Initially, the chorus was just me saying these are the days of the week, 4 times. And then we came up with, well, what if there's some background vocals just doing some ahs behind it, oohs and ahs, so to speak, harmonizing behind, me saying days of the week, and it turned out perfectly. It sounds great. So that was something that was added, I believe, in the studio. Maybe we had done it live like that before that, but I don't recall. At any rate, it was a fairly new development to add that in there. Lyrically, the song is just basically, like I said, talking about the grind that a lot of people feel about life or about their job or maybe a relationship. So it has a sympathetic tone to it, or maybe empathetic, depending on where you are right now in your life. Where you can relate to that scenario, but it also has an apathetic approach to it as well, meaning that it also is a call to self-improvement. If you're in a position, if you're not happy with your position or your situation, then work to improve it, work to change it. And I know it's not always possible. I understand there's extenuating circumstances, and we as human beings don't control everything, thank God. But just work to do the best that you can, and try to get yourself out of a bad relationship or a bad work environment, whatever it may be. If you can, change it. That's what the song is about. And I think it's very appropriate for the times we're living in now. It seems like sometimes society as a whole has become apathetic toward a lot of things, about the plight of other people. Sometimes we aren't as compassionate as we should be. And sometimes some people are just apathetic. They have no vested interest in anything other than their own little circle. And I think that that's a mistake. I think that we should care about what's going on, in the world and in our country, in our state, and in our local communities, and we should work to try to make things better. So there's a different approach. You could look at it a few different ways, but the bottom line is that lyrically speaking, it's one of my most favorite songs. The lyrics came together really nicely, and I was really pleased with how the lyrics had that tongue-in-cheek approach to them, not only in the lyrical content and what you could draw from it, but just that it's still going through those days of the week. So it's a play on the words. I like that. Musically, like I said, it's pretty well. It's heavy, but it's laid back, and I've always liked that. Again, I've been apprehensive about the song at times, but the more that we've played it, and we've played it a lot, the more I've come to love and appreciate the song all the more. Can't think of anything else as far as the song. It's track number 3 on the record. And remember, Vengeance Is Mine is a 10-track album. And we always look at everything as side 1, side 2. We're vinyl enthusiasts. So this would be track number 3, which would be, right in the middle of side 1. Which is perfect. It's a song that kind of connects the two pieces before it and after it. You have a hard-hitting song like New Kind of Man open the record, and you have your song that has mass appeal to it, such as Taste This Tomorrow. That's track number 2. And now you've got Days of the Week, which is still heavy, but more laid back, because now it's going to lead into the first and only ballad on the first record, which we'll talk about in the next video. So it's a nice segue between, the upbeat tempos of New Kind of Man and Taste of Tomorrow, and it's a nice segue into Alone, which is the next song that we'll be talking about. So anyway, that's all I can think about, or I can remember about the song. I know that for a lot of people, I've had a lot of people tell me that that's their favorite song off that album. And that's good to hear, because of the times that I've been apprehensive about it. And it's always been a song that I know that Grant has always championed, and I think a lot of why I appreciate that song so much is because Grant appreciated it so much, and he was always so enthusiastic about that song and Vengeance Is Mine. Those are the two that I can think of off the top of my head that he was always so passionate about and really excited about, and that he really, he put a lot of work into all these songs, but those are the two that you could tell that he really gravitated towards. And so that actually encouraged me to appreciate the song more. And then once JT and Margie got a hold of it, it just became a whole new animal. Just a fantastic song, because of the people playing on the song. The studio version of that song, I think, is next to perfect. And as I'm making this video and I'm watching, that's why I get distracted every so often, I'm watching that video behind us, and I'm pretty sure we did Days of the Week that night. I hope so, because I'd really like to have that on the DVD when we get around to making it. But just watching that video, I'm watching it right now behind me, and you can see JT is just tearing it up on a fantastic guitar solo. I don't know what song this is, but man, I miss those days. I miss being on stage with those guys. I miss being in a band with those guys. Someday, maybe we'll get it back together, I hope. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to put up some stuff, videos and whatever else on Facebook and here on YouTube to keep Revelation Rain alive, at least in some aspect, because it deserves to be, and the songs deserve it as well. And so anyway, guys, that's the history, the story, everything else about Days of the Week. I thank you guys for tuning in. Oh yeah, since I did take the website down, if you want to buy Vengeance Is Mine or Day of the Lord on CD, they're $10 each. Okay? And all you have to do is email me at revelationrainonline@yahoo.com. And if you want Vengeance Is Mine on vinyl, it's $25, and just email me at that same email address. We no longer have the website up, so you can't go to the store and buy those anymore. But they're still available, along with a lot of the merchandise that we still have. T-shirts, window decals, stickers, posters, all kinds of stuff. So if you want any of that stuff, contact me at that email, and I'll get it sent out to you. All right? All right, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to doing the next one, and I hope you look forward to seeing it. Take care, and God bless.